Mark, Chairman of Parkway, thank you for joining us just before kick-off. I just want to touch on, it's amazing really what you've built, the club has built here in such a short space of time, going back to Jez's days and then you coming on board. But you must look at it and think, wow, very, very lucky.
Yeah, I mean, we've been, a lot of planning, a lot of effort put in by a lot of people to get to where we are. And I think it's lovely when other clubs come down here and the compliments we get about the venue, the facilities we have, the trees just make it here. And, I think it's a really good quality non-league ground now. And it's an honour to be the chairman of the club.
Brilliant. And the pitch obviously got a lot of flack a couple of seasons ago. The club's worked tirelessly and invested heavily into it, and you can just see the dividend on it today.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's we had that period where the pitch was the talk of everybody, and now we're sort of I saw a text message come through this week from one of the supporters, how's the pitch looking, and I went green and got a couple of goals on it. Confident enough to be able to reply, knowing that it's hammering it down with rain outside, but the pitch will be fine. And walking on the pitch today, it's ready to play football, and it's perfect pitch to play football on. So it's a massive credit to the team that have put the effort in. We've invested some money into the drainage. We've put additional work in the summer. And we've provided the ground staff with the facilities to be able to do the work. But without the ground staff that come down here and put the hours in, the pitch isn't any good. Obviously, with the new mower, that helps us massively as well.
Back to the football. We're going to see a few names on the team sheet today. A few international clearances. We haven't really publicised it, but it's always busy here life at Parkway, but an extremely busy sort of 7 days for the club.
Yeah, so I missed a few games with some health reasons. So, and during that time, there was a few conversations that were had around sort of players that might be potentially available coming in. We knew they'd need international clearance. We got an opportunity. A number of the directors and the management team managed to look at these players over the last couple of weeks. The directors sort of had they cast their eye over them at training on Tuesday night, and then following that, we've managed to get 4 players. Actually, there's 3 on the team sheet today, but there's a 4th one that's also got international clearance. So we've been very fortunate to get those players through international clearance as quick as we have. Massive credit to Jenny for the work that she's put in this week. It's not easy to get international clearances done, and to get 4 players over the line, all exciting young players. Multiple different places they're coming from, and it's good for the football club. These lads are coming in, they're excited to join the football club. They're looking good in training. They look like they can add something to us. Having a couple of them being over 6 foot as well is not going to do us any harm. So when you're talking to them and you're looking up to them, it's quite unusual for our team at the moment. So it's good to have those sort of extra bodies on board. Today,
Uxbridge 4th in the league. A bit of an unknown quantity to us, but very much on their own journey, as are we. This is what this was built for, isn't it? 7 Premier League matches against teams we're our first meeting against.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, Uxbridge came up last season, and they've had a really good start to the season. And they're up there for a reason. Today's going to be a good game. I think we've obviously got some great form going into the game. They've got the great form for the season so far. It should set up for a really good game, and I'm excited to see how we get on today. I think it's a great challenge for the lads, to put the effort in. I think we saw last week. I honestly can't remember the last time we ground out a 1-0 result, and that's credit to the lads. There's been a lot of work put on the coaching side to improve the players, and I think we're now starting to see the players really gel, and it's something that the fans can be exceptionally proud of as a team.
Yeah, 100%. And for yourself earlier, you touched on saying you were proud. I mean, that's sort of music to my ears. I know how much Jez strives for the club, and Jenny and Gaz, but yourself, you've been at the helm for a number of years now. You haven't lost any passion for it.
No, I mean it's a challenging role to have, and there's good days and there's bad days, but the majority of the time it's good. When we're not winning games of football, it's always challenging. And losing games of football hurts any of us as much as the supporters, if not more. Yep. So. And when results aren't going your way, you're sitting there thinking, well, what do we do? How do we improve this? But I think the relationship that we've got with the management team now is really, really strong. There's honest conversations are had when they need to be had. And when praise is due, praise is given.
Yeah.
And I think we've got to give them massive credit for what's been turned around for the last sort of 7, 8 games, and the work that's gone in off the pitch, and seeing that happen just makes you proud of the team, because you know that we've had young lads, we've lost some good experienced players through injuries this season, and the young lads are stepping in and doing the job, and it's exciting. It really is exciting for the football club to have these young players coming in and being able to develop players, and making them feel like this is their home.
Yeah.
And I think it's good for the football club, and it's good for the supporters to be able to sort of get into the young lads and really sort of see them develop and see them improve.
And finally, Mark, I'm going to have to mention the dreaded C word, Christmas. I've seen you handed out draw tickets for everyone to sell, and just a note that we got a big Christmas bonanza raffle Christmas, and the tickets are now available in the clubhouse.
Yeah, so the players have had their tickets today. I walked over, put them on a table in front of Rio, and Rio went, Christmas draw, is it? I was like, yep. So Rio's been great today and sorted that out with all the lads.
But some great prizes.
Great prizes, like £400 cash, there's TVs, there's we normally end up with somewhere in the region of 50 plus prizes on that draw. So it's drawn on after the Tiverton game, so we'll have a bit of people will stay behind, have a few drinks in the bar, and then we'll do the Christmas draw. And that draw is always a great occasion for the club.
Cheers, Mark. Enjoy today. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Mike.
Cheers.